So this is a project. There used to be a group of three trunks of a tree right here. When I got flooded, people are getting tired of hearing me talking about getting flooded, but it killed so much stuff, and so I'm trying to rebuild what I had. Anyway, it killed two of the trunks of this tree, and you can see how this one grew off to one side, and it's starting to now fill in the other side where the other trunks were. But anyway, this tree lifted this cement slab to the point where this is a tripping hazard, and it's a tripping hazard coming out of the house over here too. So, you know, the possibility exists, I suppose, to try to lift this thing, but I actually broke off a corner of it right here, and the piece that I took off was 4 inches thick. So they made this a tremendously thick slab. It didn't have to be, it's only a walkway. So the plan is then to break this up, reform it, and then re-pour it. You know, for me, it's a pretty big job, but I do have a little cement mixer, and I have a demo hammer. The demo hammer also went underwater during the thing, and it froze up, and I worked at it, and I finally got the thing loose, so that, and it's a monster of a hammer. You'll see it. But anyway, so I'm going to break up this slab and reform it, and you know, hopefully it'll be new and fancy. Because the plan is that the busted cement I can get rid of easily. I can put it in a wheelbarrow, and at the end of my block there's a place where the water comes down the street from rain, and it enters the river, which is on the other side right there. You can see at the base of that tree over there, you can see where there's a bunch of stone and stuff, and that's just a trough that leads down to the river. And so any of the stormwater that ends up on the roadway ends up down there, and I can put all the cement over there. That's just there to hold the embankment back. So anyway, that makes the job a little bit easier. And then I ended up getting 12 bags of cement today. That is just going to get me started. That won't get me finished. And rather than just putting the cement in as a slab, I decided that I wanted, you know, I got flagstone over here, I got stone on the outside of the house, I got stucco. Rather than just having a cement slab like I have a cement driveway with some oil stains, as you see, I had, a year ago or more, I did an experiment with using Mexican river stones, or beach pebbles, to make a surface on the thing so that it looks like cobblestones, and that's my intention here. So I got $150 worth of Mexican beach pebbles, and I'm going to use those somehow in this overall design. So the next step is breaking this out, and then forming it, and then mixing it, and then installing cobblestones as I see. So that's the plan for today. All right. Now, with any luck at all, this machine will work. This is a demo hammer, and it went underwater, like so much of the stuff that I have. But these are the chucks that face it. Okay. Oof. box it in. Now hopefully it'll run. That's it. All manageable size. You can see how they're mightily stuck together. Ooh, ants. Surprise, surprise. Ooh, that's heavy. Ooh, that's heavy. Don't spill. So I cleared out all the little stone shit. It doesn't really matter because I'm gonna probably raise up this bed a little bit. But I found this material. Somebody was throwing it out. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's rather robust. It has sort of some sort of a baseboard, it looks like, because it was mounted once upon a time. But this is actually ideal for using it as a form. So I'll have the form like this. The cement will go here. This will hold it in place. And I'm going to have, I think probably 3-inch is the right height for the thing. This was like 4 inches. It was like overkill. This is only a walkway. So rather than mixing up all that extra material, plus I can make this, pretty much any way that I want. But I have to get some stakes to support this. And then I have to figure out what my 3-inch height is. And it's going to be 3 inches down from the height of the patio. So anyway, that's the plan. This is actually perfect for what I need it for. Okay. And there's just probably just enough here to do this also, which is good. All right, let me find some stakes. My friends accused me of being a hoarder, but these were left over from something that I trimmed off the ends, and they were, I don't know, 4 feet long, and I cut them into 3 pieces, and now I have a bunch of stakes which I didn't have before. So these are wooden stakes to support the back side of this this form that I'll be putting up. And then I have a handful of these. These are cement form stakes where you can pound them into the ground, and then you put your board up against it, and you can actually raise or lower the board to where you want it, and put screws through into the board to hold it into the right height. So I have a handful of these, and there's some more that are out by the seawall that I'm holding up a thing over there. I got another form to do there. But anyway, this is something else I'm going to need is a couple of levels. Let me do that. All right. I had some pine trees that were killed by the hurricane a few years ago, and a lot of the roots are left over here. Plus I have this tree over here that was killed. So okay. You know, I think I'm just thinking out loud here. Where the hell is, oh, here it is. I want this to be just a little bit lower than this, and I'll tell you why as we go forward here. This is going to be pretty rustic anyway, because just the nature of what I'm doing here. But I sure do like this material. This is going to be great. I want it this way. That's down about 1/2 inch, which is exactly about where we need it to be. right, I'm pounding these things in so that the angled side wants to pull away from the form, which is good, because otherwise it'll be pushing the form in. Okay. Again, I'm putting them in this way. I'm putting them in this way so that the downward force will tend to push the nose in that direction. You can actually use for short forms and so on and so forth, depends on how much support you have. You can use things like vertical blinds, old vertical blind pieces, although they tend to be curved. But you can, I just happen to run into this material. See that we're maintaining a downward trend. This is almost level here, but that's where we've got to be here, and I got to get something to cut this with. Okay. Okay. problem, it's not such a problem, but the problem is that this has some memory to the coil, which means it's tipping, or it's coiling backwards. Okay. Oh, you son of a gun. It's not very, the staples are not, they're only 1/2-inch staples, so they don't go too far. All right, well, I'm just going to deal with it that way. And I should put something heavy on top of this to hold it in place. All right. This was another project from long ago. These were in a warehouse and I just cut them to different lengths and strung them up. But I've had this thing for like 30 years. Hey. All right. All right, time to do the other side, I guess, right? What is this? That's a root from the original tree. This is a dead-end street that I live on. And yet, that's the second car since we've been out here working that's come down the street. And I don't get it. There's a sign at the top of the street. This is dead end. People come down here, turn around, head right back out. And it happens not just once in a while. It happens all the time. Every day. All right. This is going to be a little tricky because I don't want to cut this root. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know. This is the existing tree. I don't know if it uses this root or not. Well, there's something solid. Either a rock or a trunk, right? Okay, well, that's all she's gonna go. Inch off by 1.5 inches. That just means that there'll be a slope toward the garden, which is fine. A little more than I would have hoped. One of the keys to, you can have all the stone, cement, dust, dirt, sand. The stuff that you can't have is stuff like roots, because roots will deteriorate, and over the course of time there will be a space where they were. So whenever you're doing cement, you want to try to avoid having anything organic underneath your cement. So this is a slightly different pattern than I had before, but because it was much more round and whatever, this is more rustic. But then again, I'm rustic, so all right, let's put in a few more stakes, and then we can figure out the lay. That is, we're going to want a 3-inch pad, and we need to tamp it down. Probably a little water would help. And then tomorrow we can start pouring. I'm not going to pour cement today. I just wanted to get this ready because I figure if I just let it go too long, I'll not want to do it. Okay, there we go. This stuff is called torpedo grass, and it propagates by rhizomes, which are runners underneath the soil, and it is the most annoying, hideous weed. And in summertime when it's wet, it just like takes over everything, and it's impossible to get rid of. So you just have to kind of keep up with it and pull it out wherever you see it. Okay, I'm good with that. The weight of the cement, even though it's only 3 inches, the hydraulic pressure, or the hydrostatic pressure, I should say, is rather significant. And since cement is so heavy, I mean, you got an 80-pound bag, like that stack of bags there. You know, there's what's that, 7 bags, 7/8 of 560 pounds of cement there. Anyway, most of that will be used in this first block, and I'm not exactly sure how many. I got 12 bags. That'll only probably come out to maybe here, so we'll have to figure that out. Whew. These are sandbags left over from the storm. The sandbags are virtually useless if you have any water intrusion. It's going to be more than a few inches. So these, I had sandbags all over the place during the storm against the garage door, and it didn't matter. The water was not quite, but almost up to the ledge on the window over there, and water was coming in all around the door and filled up the house. But this time I have a plan. if it should ever happen again. The kid next door tells me that he's lived here all his life, except for they moved here when he was 2, and he's now 28, I think. And he said they never ever had anything even remotely like this. So I hope that's the case. That needs to go down. And that got shortened somehow. Well, it won't hurt anything. I mean, I'll get it all figured out, but that's got to be squared away. that. So this is a tamper. It's just a heavy chunk of metal, but it helps to compact stuff because you don't want pockets underneath your business, whatever it is. And we'll come back and we'll look at it again. And you can usually do this in layers also. It's more effective if you do it in layers. So you do one lay and then another and another until you get your desired height. And we're looking for 3 inches overall. Down. Oof. To look at just the eyeball, that's about 4 inches, so we're going to have to come up quite a bit still to fill this in to make it the right thickness. If we're a little bit thick, I don't care, but it just means more and more mixing, you know. And I can only mix, well, I can mix 2 bags at a time. That's pushing a little, but usually 1 bag at a time is fine. 180-pound bag. Or 2 60s. I can put 2 80s in there too. I've done that before. I've actually put 3 in there, but that's a little overkill. All right, well, so I worked on this for a while. I mean, it just, you know, brought out a few more bags of sand, and I've got about 3 inches, maybe just a little over 3 inches now on all the faces. So that means that my slab is going to be 3 inches, and you can actually see the 2 inches here from this side to that side, which is fine because water will go to the garden. So I'm happy with that. I haven't figured out yet what I'm going to do between slabs. That'll be a sort of a figure as you go. And I'm figuring that those 12 bags, I was just kind of eyeing it up and thinking that's going to be maybe almost half. I'm going to end up having to get more cement. So maybe another 12 bags, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty happy overall with the way this is. I tamped down everything with the tamper. And that's pretty much it. I'm ready for cleanup now, and then we'll figure out about actually doing the pour maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Gotta get some more oil, I guess. This bottle ain't gonna make it. Not quite, anyway. Okay. It's important to protect your hands from cement because the stuff it's partly caustic. It means it'll burn you, and it's irritating at the very least. And it also, even if you do handle it, and you can handle some of it, the stuff will take all the oil out of your skin. All right, so we're gonna get started here, I guess. Ooh. Okay. This mix is just a little bit wetter than I would have wanted, but it's okay. I think what I'm going to do is calculate exactly how much water I want in each pour, and that will show me exactly how much to put in, make it go a lot faster. I'll try 7 inches. Oof. What I'm going to do is I don't have enough to finish, and I don't have time to go to the store because I got to work the rest of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil up this thing here. This is going to be my end of run. All right, oiled up. I'm going to set this in here some way that looks like I have about that 1 bag worth of material left. And we're gonna back here. Oops.
Oops-a-daisy. Okay. I have this bag. And I'm going to need some more, I think. A little bit, anyway. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. All right, let's see where this takes us. Yeah, I'm gonna need about a half of, not even a half a bag. Fuck. Okay. And if this were going to be a smooth slab, I have to be very careful about this. If this were going to be a very smooth slab, then I'd go back and I could rework all the surface. But it's not going to be a smooth slab. Because regardless, I'm going to need some more material. Unless okay, I think that's got it. Because this can't be any higher than the 3 inches. That's where we want it, right there. Okay. I'm going to clean up the mixer, and then I'm going to start setting cobblestones in this pour. So let's see. Okay, so I thought that instead of just putting cobblestones there, that I could do some basic artwork. So, like for example, yeah, baby. Oof.
I like the style, the one like a flower.
I got a bunch of them in there, but you know, I was hoping that they would stand out more, but they don't, you know. There's one right here.
Yeah.
There's one right here. There's 7 or 8 of them in there, but you don't see them because they're all the same. You know, they hide in the background. So whatever. It was a good idea. It just
No, you're doing good.
yeah.
Perfect. It will stay too long inside the cement.
What?
Inside the cement.
What?
It stay too long,
Stay what too long?
like 5 years, 2 years.
What? The cement?
No, the stone.
The stones? They'll be there forever. They're not going anywhere. They're in the cement. They're going to be there forever. They'll be there after I'm dead. Yeah, see? They'll be there after I'm dead. I'm not going to worry about it. The next person to live in this house is not going to live in this house. They'll take this house and knock it down, haul it away, and put up a mansion because it's a great location, a great lot. And it's perfect for me, but it's not going to be perfect for some guy with a lot of money. That ain't me.
I agree.
You know? Okay, I think I'm done.
Looks like it. Yeah. The chicken is lost. I mean,
Well, that's all clean, and this will set overnight, and then I'll get some more cement, and I'll finish tomorrow or the next day, whatever. Tell you what, it's tough on the back, let me tell you.
oh, I thought. You're talking almost more than
Well, it's not only the bending over, but it's a freaking, it's 80 pounds, 80 pounds. There's like, how many? There's 8 bags, 8 eights, there's 650 pounds of cement here.
cement. Without the stone, huh?
Yeah, without the stone.
Here, missing? No.
So, I took the separator that I had here, freeform, but I don't want the other slab to attach itself to this slab because I want that to be free floating. Cement will break, and this will probably break someplace across here also. So I'm trying to keep this also the same way. So I'm going to take, this is painter's plastic, very thin, like the stuff that they have at the dry cleaner, you know, that you put clothes in. And Okay, so this will form a barrier that the cement won't be able to attach itself to. And then whatever the plastic is, it can be ripped up with a flame, something, anything to remove it. And that will be the end of that. Okay. Oof. All right, I'm gonna clean up, then I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit and I'll put the stones in. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. Oof.
Okay, so this is a couple days later. I still have to clean up. There's some, like right there, I have to clean up some cement that's on top of some stones. But overall, I'm very happy with the completed project.